you live from my apartment. It's Rob Has a Podcast, and now here's the guy who everybody knows is running the show, as long as that show is a podcast. Rob Sisterino, hello everybody. Welcome back to our last regular season voicemail show of the year, episode number 13 of Millennials versus Gen X, and today we're going to be joined by my very good friend, Jordan Parhar of Big Brother Canada 3, and of course of the reality TV Happy Hour here on Rob Has a Website. So excited to talk with Jordan about this season and take all of your voicemail questions from this episode. Boy, what a busy day today. Starting off with my double exit interview with Sunday and with Will. Then also this afternoon, I had a very nice trip out to the home of Jonathan Penner, where we got to talk about everything. Had a nice little in-person podcast. I took the show on the road to Penner. I don't do that for just anybody, okay? So that was a lot of fun to go over by Penner, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun here today. And of course, the know-it-alls with Steven last night, also a really good show to talk through everything from Wednesday night's episode of Survivor. If you miss anything, you can always subscribe to the podcast, robhasawebsite.com/iTunes. And then before we get to Jordan, I just want to mention, if you're doing your holiday shopping this weekend, check out the 12 days of deals going on now on Amazon.com. We always appreciate when you use our links for Amazon, robhasawebsite.com/Amazon, or for our friends in Canada, robhasawebsite.com/AmazonCA. Tons of great stuff going on. There's lots of deals that they're putting out there. They take them away. They put different ones out there. So check out everything that's going on there. robhasawebsite.com/Amazon. And one other thing for our listeners in the Chicago area, and we had such a good time at the RehapCon this summer. One of our listeners, Stephanie Borges, is putting together a finale viewing party in Chicago at the Easy Bar. I promised I would mention it on the podcast. That's going to be this Wednesday from 7 to 10. If you're in the Chicago area and you want to come out, they're going to be playing the show. They're going to have Survivor-themed drinks. It's always more fun to be watching these shows and the challenges with a big group of people. You can get more information at the Easy Bar's Facebook page, not Easy Street, Easy Bar, or by contacting Stephanie on Twitter. She is BOUGIE22 on Twitter. That's Bougie22 on Twitter, and I'll post the link on robhasawebsite.com. All right, everybody, I'm very excited to bring in our voicemail guest this week. Of course, you know him as the host of the reality TV Happy Hour that he has just finished the first ever season of Big Brother OTT, and here he is, ready to get into Survivor mode, the great Jordan Parhar. Jordan, how are you?
Rob, I'm great. Thank you for having me on, keeping the JP week going. I know it was a real tragedy when JP from Cook Island canceled on you last minute, but thank you so much for having me back on the voicemails. I love doing this show. It's one of my favorite times of the year to do it.
Yeah, so in a roundabout way, I actually referenced him in the podcast with Penner, so that's amazing.
No way. That's hilarious.
Yes. It's great. So, wow, Jordan, how are you doing? Have you survived Big Brother OTT?
Yeah, it was a long journey, Rob. It was tough getting through it. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know what happened with Twitter. It really everyone. I mean, Twitter's already crazy enough, but it went really insane. I guess with this whole, with the whole election season and all the voting that was involved in it, but I'm glad it's over. I'm glad that my timeline and everything it's all coming back to normal. So I'm good to go, and I'm excited. I'm loving this Survivor season, so I'm really excited to get into it.
Yeah. So just on that note, I was listening to, on my way home from Penner's house, I was listening to Stephen Fishback was a guest on the Dom and Colin podcast, and they had a podcast that was sort of all about the relationship between fans and reality shows on Twitter and on social media, and so I had not gotten to the part where they were going to talk to Andy Herron as well, but I'm hoping that he might be able to explain Big Brother OTT to me.
It was so funny after I was listening to Know It Alls, and when you're like yeah, and we're going to be live with BBOTT coverage coming up soon. And Steven's like, oh, yeah, so I'm so excited for that.
He's the best. He's always excited about everything. Anyway, so Jordan, I know that you are now in full Survivor mode, that you actually have a Survivor podcast coming up live this weekend as well on robiswebsite.com, where you and the LFC, the live feed correspondents, are going to be talking about your Survivor 33 draft. Can you just give us a sneak peek? How did your team do?
So my team, it started off really poorly. I took the same strategy that I took from Big Brother 18, and I drafted a team. Yes, Team Trainwreck. I drafted all of the craziest people that I could think of, and I drafted Will first, though. He actually turned out to show a little bit of his crazy side, I guess. But I drafted Will because he had listened to the Happy Hour before, so I was biased with him. But I also picked. I had Paul. I had Rachel. I had Lucy.
All right, well, don't spoil the whole show on Sunday for the listeners.
But yeah. But it was anyway. Right? It didn't turn out so great, but I'm excited to talk about Survivor on Sunday. First one we're doing
Sunday February.
Yes. I didn't have her, but yeah, it should be good.
Well, good. She's out of the game now. You would have lost the whole draft.
Right? Yeah, would have been a shame.
Anyway, so Jordan, very excited to podcast. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to schedule one for this season, but I'm glad it worked out. And now here you are, and the finale is coming up on Wednesday night, and we have our final six. Overall, do you feel like this has been a strong season of Survivor?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with pretty much everyone on this one. I haven't heard anyone say that this season isn't good. I think it's a great season. I can't think of a better final six. I think we're in a situation where we can get a really, really strong final three. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving it, and I didn't expect it to be this good. I was really, going into this, I was thinking, Co Wrong was good. I don't think this will be able to top it, but I really think this one has. So I think I'll be happy regardless of who wins this one.
Well, you didn't think we'd be able to top Co Wrong?
No, I don't know what it was.
So low.
Yeah, well, Co Wrong is fine. Yeah, I guess it was fine, but I don't know. I like Co Wrong. I thought it was a fun season. I thought that I know there was controversy at the end, but I enjoyed it, and I thought I don't know, for whatever reason. Maybe it's just I don't know. It was going back to school, and I was like, and Big Brother sucked, so I thought, this is gonna suck too. But no, it proved me wrong.
All right, so why don't we get things started? And we have a question for you from two of our listeners to start things off. Gwen and Max have a question for you, Jordan.
Hey, Rob and Jordan, it's Gwen.
And Max.
From Madison, Wisconsin, and we listen to y'all on our way to work in the morning. Our question is, whose stock are you buying and selling this week, a la the Big Brother Live Feed correspondents? You guys do great work.
Wow. So Gwen and Max listen to Rob Has a Podcast and I guess the Happy Hour on their way to work. What do you think the relationship is there? They're coworkers, and are they just friends?
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like it's so rare to find. One, they carpool together all the time, right? So I mean, that must mean they have a close relationship. And if they also are interested in weird reality shows that no one else likes, but a very
30 seconds cooking it. What you need is trash it straight away.
Linda, she had that deer in the headlights.
Yeah, but maybe Gwen and Max, Rob, someday it'll happen, or maybe they're already together. They just didn't say that off the top.
What are you putting in there? How many torsions are you putting in there? Damn. Who's putting all this in the pan? How many torsions are you putting in there? How much is in the pan? Look! What is this? Hey, madam, how much capellini are you throwing away? Look at it! What are you doing, Melinda? What are you doing?
All right.
You're making me mad!
Get that.
Fucking mad!
Get that. That girl gonna lead us to destruction.
Credit as the alleged inventor of Stockwatch.
Did Alex invent this? I feel like I invented the stopwatch because I introduced this segment randomly one day. Maybe he says a lot of things I forget, so I don't know. But Alex, I'm going to take credit for the stopwatch. Yeah, you can fight me later over that on that one. But
well, to be fair, he doesn't say that he invented it. He just put in the notes here that JP better shout out the inventor of this game, and he has a Joey Rodriguez-esque LOL.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, Alex, enlighten me later. We'll have to go check the tape. Okay. So stock watch. Who am I buying? Who am I selling?
All right, we got the finale coming up. So,
yes.
All right, buy, sell, or hold. Let's go through the final 6, then we can sort of just get sort of like your quick overview on everybody. Okay, let's try to do this in alphabetical order. And let's start with Adam. Buy, sell, or holding Adam.
Ooh, man. That's so hard. I guess with Adam, he's probably he's probably going to be like middle of the pack in terms of prices right now, but I think he's got a decent chance to win. So I guess I would say I would buy Adam. He's got a really good story. I think that he is somebody who, has prepared his jury speech well in advance. He's got this story with his mom that he hasn't told a lot of people about yet. So with all that going for him, I would say I would buy Adam. Rob, I don't know. What do you think?
I think that Adam is a stock that you would buy because I felt like that coming out of the first couple episodes of the merge, even though Penner sort of poo-pooed how big of a deal it was, it seemed like everybody was down on Adam around those first couple of votes, around the time that Taylor was getting voted out. I think we were all sort of like, boy, what is Adam even doing right now? And so I think that was probably the absolute lowest point of his value, and I feel like that he's just continued to go up. So I think a stock like that is rising, I think you want to sort of grab it and see where it goes.
Yeah, I can co-sign that.
I think that I would buy some Adam. All right, what about Brett? Buy, sell, or hold Brett?
So I think Brent's an interesting one. I mean, he's had so much go against him this season. I mean, he's every single vote, it seems like he's just, minding his own business. He's trying to, make some moves with people in the game. And his alliance just keeps getting picked off one by one. I thought that Minions reference that you made, that comparison, I thought that
went
was
over
a good
Steven's
one.
head.
Yeah. See, I'm a millennial, Rob. I know this is good. I thought that was really on point.
Yes, thank you very much. Actually, one of our listeners actually made up a Minions song for Brett and Sunday. That it's so bizarre, but I just want to play a little bit of it.
What the hell is this?
I told you it was weird.
Well, it's like I was waiting for when it was like, okay, here comes the song. I was like, okay, where's the music? The background.
No, it was not a Minions song.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Thank you, Danny from the Bay.
Shout out to Danny. I don't know if Danny was doing the voice. That was actually pretty impressive. But anyway, with Brett, Minions poll. Yes. But with Brett, I think that back to his stock, I mean, he's a guy whose stock is pretty low, I would say, right now. Like, you can get him for pretty cheap. But I do think if he can get to Final Tribal, he definitely has an argument to win the game. I think that people respect Brett as well, and I think people in general like him, and I think that those two things are incredibly important when you get to the end. He hasn't really screwed anyone over, so I would buy Brett's stock, because if he gets there with, say, like Hannah and Ken, he can certainly win the game.
Sell Brett. Sell him, Jordan.
Why would you sell Brett? Because his stock is so cheap. Like, you can't get much from him at this point, Rob.
Yeah, you can't get much for it, but I think that you're just, buying up a stock that's not really going anywhere. I mean, Brett is a great character, and I bet he's probably going to be the under the radar. I would buy him in terms of exit interviews. I bet he's going to be the secret under-the-radar star of the exit interviews that we do next week. But he's always mad about something. Even if he gets to the final 3, I mean, he's just going to be yelling at everybody.
He said, I want to make some big moves in this game. I want to check it off in my checklist. I'm like, this kid wants everyone to think he's not just a high school kid, but he's thinking like a high school kid. Oh, I got to do all my homework. I got to check off all these boxes. Give me a break.
Yeah, that was him talking about Will in the episode last night. And he's always just like, really just very, very upset with everything. Like, oh, come on. What is this remote control? This thing never works.
But with the things he gets mad about, I think he's kind of right all these times. Like when he was getting mad over the whole trust cluster thing, like he was kind of right. It's like, okay, come on, Hannah, like really, like a trust cluster, that's not really anything. And then also too, like getting mad at Will for the whole resume thing, I think that's certainly valid as well. So I mean, Brett's the kind of guy who I think is, he's super chill, nice dude, will be really fun to hang out with. But if he sees something that he thinks is wrong, then he's gonna get upset about it, and I don't think he's really wrong when he's getting upset.
Do you think that Brett was watching Big Brother OTT this season? Oh, what is this? America's gonna vote on everything when they get a care package every 5 seconds? Come on, give me a break. Yeah.
I just want to hang out with Brett, Rob. I really do. He seems like he'd be so much fun.
Oh, it's this another twist in the game. America gets a vote. Come on.
I hope for
Give
his
me a
sake
break.
he didn't watch it. I really hope he didn't watch it. I really hope.
We won't ask if he was a fan of the Ball Smashers or the Late Night Jamboree.
We don't want to open that can of worms.
We don't want to open that can of worms. Brett's fun, but I'm saying that we should sell the stock. It's a road to nowhere right now. All right. What about David? Buying or selling the David stock? It's going to be pricey.
It's going to be pricey for David, but I think with how he's set up, you might as well get in while you can. I'm really all about buying, it seems like, Rob. I don't know who I'm going to say that we need to sell, but I do think that David is also somebody that needs to be bought because
you're like a drunken sailor.
I really am. Yeah, maybe it's because, well, I did have a few.
You're the bye-bye man.
That's Kenner's movie, right?
Yes, sorry. That was product placement. That was
okay. Well done.
Sponsored mention.
With David, I mean, he's a guy who, if he gets to the end, I think he beats anyone. He's so likable. People want to take him to the end. The fact that Hannah is like, it's so obvious to her that she needs to vote out David, but she's like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to vote out David. I like him too much. I'm going to miss him, all this stuff. And the fact that David's got people saying this, Ken is loyal to David until eternity for whatever reason. So, I mean, he's set up in a position where he's got people he can trust and he's got people he can beat. So, and people also, I don't think, are really threatened by him in terms of the challenges. And there's other people in the game like Jay and Adam who other people are going to be afraid of. So I think David is in a very good position right now to win this game. And if I had to guess, I think David is your winner.
Yeah, I think I would hold David's stock. If you own it, hold it. Don't go anywhere. But I'm not feeling after this week that he's gaining momentum. I know Steven gave him the fishy, but I just kind of feel like that he's in a position where he's just like relying on everybody to just nobody vote me out now, okay? All right? Everybody's good with that? Like, just whatever you're doing, just don't.
But Rob, they're not voting him out. I mean, the last 2 rounds, he should have gone home. He should have gone home at Final 8, and he should have gone home at Final 7. But instead, he's still here. He's still here, man, and I don't think he's going anywhere. So I would buy. I'm a drunken sailor, but I'm gonna say buy David.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna win the game.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that there's a point in the game where maybe that there's not that many moves left to make where you don't really have that much more political capital to spend. Like, where's he going? Like, it's not like he's going to flip against the Kens and Hannahs of the world. Like, he's sort of like his bed is made. He just has to hope that everybody hangs tight with him and wants to go to the end with him.
And I think they do. I mean, I think Hannah and Ken genuinely want to go to the end with David, and I think that they will vote with him because they're afraid of Jay or because they're afraid of Adam. So I think because of that, I would buy, even though he's really expensive. I think he's worth it. So we'll see. I mean, anyone can win the game at this point, but I just really like David's chances.
I mean, the problem for me with David is that if it's not going to the end with Hannah and Ken, it's that Brett wants nothing to do with him, Jay wants nothing to do with him, and Adam wants nothing to do with going to the end with him. So he really just has to hope that his side of the numbers just wins out here in this Final 6.
Yeah, if he can, if one of those 3, if Adam, Brett, or Jay go home in this next round here, I think he's golden because I think Ken and Hannah are going to work with him, and as long as no funny business happens in terms of the final immunity and stuff like that, I think he set up pretty well.
So this is a crucial vote for David.
Very crucial
David
for David.
Stock.
Yes.
Okay.
Very crucial for David. If he, I mean, really, yeah, he's got to survive here. And I think if Jay wins immunity, he's in major hot water.
Okay. What about Hannah Stock? Are you buying or selling the Hannah Stock? Penner's favorite character, Hannah.
Wow.
The number 14 best TV character of 2016, according to a TV Guide article.
See, I've really enjoyed Hannah this season, but I don't understand. Like, I guess maybe it's because does nobody read TV Guide anymore? Is that why she's number 14?
Was this fake news? Was that what it was? Did I get duped again?
I don't know. I think I don't know. I haven't verified
Did
this.
Reddit put fake news out there? Is that a big problem? Fake news on Reddit?
I don't know. Maybe it is. It was.
I might have gotten with the fake news.
I really don't know. Maybe we should Google this, Rob, and find out. But
hold on. Let me check with Brett to see if this is Brett. Was this fake? Come on with this fake news already. Give me a break.
Give me a break.
Yeah, with this fake news on the Facebook. For crying out loud. Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, I'm looking here. I don't see. I can't find said list from a quick Google search. So Brett might be right. I think we might need to get this fake news out of here, Rob. Here's the thing, right? I'm talking about all these other people. And I'm saying you should buy. I'm saying you should buy. I'm saying you should buy. With Hannah, really fun character, but she has a 0% chance of winning the game at this point. There is no scenario in which she can win. So there's no reason to buy her. Yes, she's very cheap. But I don't care at this point. Her getting rid of Sunday, I'm fully on board with Steve Fishback. That doesn't make any sense for her. She set herself up in a position where she's pretty much guaranteed to get to the final tribal, but at the same notion, she's also guaranteed to lose to somebody else.
You're telling me that Hannah is a better TV character than Negan? Get out of here!
You think Brett watches Walking Dead?
I don't know, maybe.
People do.
Very popular.
Yeah, I gave up long ago. I just
All right. Buy, sell, or hold the Hannah stock.
Rob, you gotta sell. There's a get out of here. You can't buy. If you're telling me you're gonna buy her, like
I mean, yeah. If the goal is to win, if you only cash in with a win, then I feel like that. Sell Hannah stock. That she's further than you ever thought she was gonna be. And I say sell and cash in. Buy low, sell high.
Yeah, great character, but unfortunately, number 14 on TV Guide's list does not equate a Survivor winner.
All right. What about Ken? Are we buying, selling, or holding Ken?
With Ken, I think it's tough. I mean, guess he's probably not that expensive, but I also don't really think Ken can win at this point either, because I think that we've seen from how Will was talking about him, how Adam was talking about him with making these mistakes. I don't really think, as much as Ken talks about respect and honor and all of these other things, I don't know if everybody really respects and honors him. I know David does, and apparently Jessica does. But I was waiting for the drop.
Swinington does, yeah.
Yes, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't think anybody is going to say. I mean, Ken was on the outs with Gen X at the beginning, so I mean, I don't know if a lot of the Gen Xers are really going to support him if he gets to the end. Like, if he's there with Brett, I think Brett probably gets more votes than Ken does. Give me a break.
Yeah.
I think Adam does. I think Jay does. I think David does. So I think you got to sell Ken at this point.
Sell Ken at this point. Yeah, because I think people will buy him. I don't feel good about Ken winning the game, and I think that there are people out there who feel like that he's got a good shot. Even Penner today was talking him up. He felt like that he had like a really good shot to win the game. So if people are going to be buying up Ken, and I have Ken stock, I'll sell it.
Yeah, you take advantage of those people. It's like in your fantasy football league when it's before the trade deadline and somebody has had for someone this year, like Jay Ajayi, the running back in the Dolphins, he had like 200-yard games in a row, and there were a bunch of people in my league who were like, "Oh, trade him to me," and I sold him really high because I knew he wasn't going to do that again, and he didn't. So same with Ken.
Yes. Okay. Here you go.
Nobody will get that reference, but for the few that do,
Yes.
I love you.
I want the listeners to tell us what was better when Jordan was talking about his fantasy survivor team or when he was talking about his fantasy football team.
This is why people hate me, Rob.
Okay, and let's talk about Jay Ajayi Starrett.
Hey, he's also from Miami, isn't he? Or Florida.
Yeah.
But Jay, oh my goodness. I mean, I'm in love with Jay, just like Josh Wigler, but you got to sell Jay at this point. I mean, he is. It's going to cost a lot to buy him because if he gets to the end, he's going to win against anybody. But in order for him to get to the end, he's going to have to win immunity here at the final 6, then again at the final 5, and then again at the final 4. And I just don't see that happening. I really don't. And to be honest, I think with Ken's legacy advantage coming up, I think that that's. I think that unless it has something that doesn't have to do with the challenge, I think that's going to be the nail in the coffin for Jay. And even if it isn't, it's just too much for him to overcome.
Now I'm going to buy me some more Jay. I mean, again, just like Adam, that he was somebody that you thought was dead in the water a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, he ended up using his idol here, but he's got what? I mean, how many? We're 3 votes away from getting to the final 3, so he's got to get through the final 6. Final 5 and final 4.
Yeah, that's too much, Rob. That's too much. That's too much.
It's a gauntlet. But I mean, compared to the rest of the field, I mean, really, outside of Ken, I mean, is there anybody else that you can see beating him in a challenge? So, I mean, if he can best Ken a few times, and even if Ken got voted out,
but I don't. Yeah, but at the same time, though,
he's such a lock if he gets in the final 3. Though.
He's such a lock. He is. He wins. If he's in the final 3, he wins. But I just think that if any of these challenges are a carnival game or something crazy, like Adam won immunity, David won immunity. Like there are these challenges that they're pulling out of their butts that don't necessarily have to be fully physical. So. I think that I think it's just too much. I really do. Would it be great if he did it? Absolutely. And I'm rooting for that to happen. I would love to see Jay go on that type of run like that and win the game. It's too much.
If you were gonna sell it, I feel like this would be the week to sell it. I feel like, look, I held on to this guy for a while. People are on the bandwagon, and then let me sell at this point. It's not a terrible sell.
Yeah, it's just like Jay Ajayi Starrett. Just gotta sell.
Okay. That's not the hashtag. Come on. No Miami Dolphin hashtag. Okay. Let's go to Steve Davis, who has a question also about that challenge from last night. Here is the great Steve Davis.
Hey guys, Steve Davis calling in. What were your thoughts on Adam openly helping Ken on the immunity challenge? And do you believe that it was more to ensure that Jay wouldn't have immunity so they can flush out his idol, or that he could possibly vote out David? Also, do you think that this will end up costing him any votes in the end if he makes it to the final 3? Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Thanks.
Okay, so this was actually a pretty big moment in the episode, and I don't think I've talked about it yet on any of the podcasting I've done, so this is a huge deal right now. So that moment where Adam was telling, every time the ball was going to roll down, telling Ken, okay, Ken, get your ball is about to go down. And so Ken would go back, and then Jay was not happy about this.
No, and he shouldn't be happy.
Collusion.
Well, yes, but I mean, it's not against the rules. So I think that for Adam, it was a smart move. If you want to make sure that you flush Jay's idol or potentially get rid of Jay, I think that that's great. And to answer the voicemail question, I think that's what it was for. I don't think it was to target David. I think that was, that's the thing that it's been on Adam's mind the most, that Jay is so powerful. He's got this idol. He keeps winning. He's a physical threat. We've got to get rid of him. And I think that's a really good way to go about it. Is it annoying as hell? Is it kind of like a bit of a rat-like move, a rat floater type of move? Yeah, probably. But you know what? It's not against the rules. So I say good on Adam, Rob.
Yeah, the move that it's compared to is obviously the Sophie at the final.
Yes.
I guess it was the final 5.
Oh, final 5. Okay.
And they were trying to beat Ozzy, and they're doing the challenge where they're doing the House of Cards, and it's on House of Cards is on like some sort of like a bit of a teeter-totter. and you need to hold your arm a certain way to keep the thing balanced. And she tells Albert to drop his stack to help her, and in that instance, so that they could all get together and knock Ozzy out of the game. And Jeff Probst says, no, that is not allowed. That was not allowed in that instance.
Yeah, I think that one was a little different because wasn't Sophie trying to get Albert to bring his pieces over, or no? Was she trying to? You've seen South Pacific more recently than I have, Rob. Was it? Or just her own pieces, I guess. But
yeah, I think it was that she had dropped some of her cards on the floor. She wanted Albert to stop doing the challenge and go over and pick up her things. And it is a bit of apples and oranges in terms of telling somebody. I mean, if anything, I wonder if this is more similar to when Michaela earlier in this season ended up telling Zeke and Michelle about how to do the ball maze that they were doing at the point where Adam then voted out Figgy. And again, it's like one of these things that happen where it's like a chain reaction where somebody does something in a season and we say, oh, that's unusual. And then another person who was there when that happened does it at a later point in this season that we had going back to the Mari vote, where you had Michelle whispering in Hannah's ear at tribal council. And we've seen Hannah then at later tribal councils where she's having whole conversations and with Adam and lots of maneuvering going on during the vote. We have a lot of idols where somebody's playing idols on somebody else and then other idols are being played. And then here we have Adam, who was ultimately the beneficiary of Zeke and Michelle finishing their puzzle before Figgy could get the puzzle done. And then ultimately now he's helping another competitor in this season complete their puzzle or their immunity challenge so that he can benefit from it.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's all of the millennials that are doing this, not the Gen Xers. So curious how it's just worked out like that. But again, I think good on Adam. Learn from the past and stuff that's happened on your season and use it to your advantage. And if your goal is to make sure that Jay loses, that's the best way to do it. And I'm glad that Jeff didn't say it was against the rules because it happened earlier in the season. So why not now?
So Adam was able to help out Ken and tell him whenever his ball was going to drop, and it looked like it was going to be a cakewalk for Ken, and it looked like he had it, but he did not quite have it.
Ken thinks he has it. Ken is wrong.
Oh.
Apparently, I've got the puzzle spelled wrong.
Somewhere Dan Foley is shedding tears, Rob.
Yes, what do you prefer? Do you like the new version of
Ken is wrong.
or do you prefer the classic
Dan is wrong.
or the third option
Dan is wrong again.
Option 3. I mean, hands down, that's the best one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how Ken could have looked at what he had and thought that this was the correct puzzle. I mean, there were not even letters in what.
Well, it said Millennials, or what did it even say? It was so far off. I mean, he said it himself. This is what happens when you don't eat food for a couple days.
Actually, this is what Ken had to say.
Apparently, when you haven't eaten for 35 days, you can't spell.
Apparently, yeah.
Rob, I have a question. Why do you dislike Ken so much?
I don't dislike Ken. Apparently.
But you just making fun
I don't want that to be a thing that I dislike Ken.
Well, apparently it is.
We're just not on the same wavelength.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I can accept that. I was just curious. That's totally fair. You and Ken are much different individuals. Different ways of life. Could you see yourself living off the grid in Hawaii for 4 years and living off the land, Rob?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, I couldn't really see myself living someplace with bad cell phone reception.
So what do you think would be a bigger fish out of water if you
Squidington is the ultimate fish out of water.
bigger fish out of water. You living off the grid in Hawaii by yourself off the land for 4 years, or Ken taking over as host of Rob Has a Podcast for 4 years.
See, I don't want this to be a whole thing like there's a rivalry, because look, I'm already getting calls about this.
You're getting calls?
So I mean, this is a call that I got today.
Apparently, you've been doing an impression of me on your podcast, and now that I've made the finale, you're going to have to interview me in person. Rob, whatever happened to old-fashioned civility and respect? If you're not careful, you might end up like Sir Squidington. I think there's maybe something to be said for revenge.
See, now this is a whole thing. Now Ken wants to get revenge against me.
Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, if you're gonna have somebody that you make fun of, Rob, I think Ken is probably he's a very safe choice, because does Ken even know what a podcast is?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to when people would just sit around on the bar and talk about the shows that they would watch, and then your favorite barkeep would come in and everybody would know your name? Whatever happened to that? And your friendly neighborhood mailman knew all the information about everything.
It was a better time, Rob. It really was. Us millennials, we ruined it. So sad. So sad. I wish I lived in a life like that where the mailman knew my name. That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. Where everybody knew your name.
Yeah,
and they were even glad that you came.
Yeah, it would be just like Cheers. It would be awesome.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's not. Apparently, it's not. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like that maybe I need to back off of talking about Ken.
No, I think it's, you know what, Rob, you do you, man. You do you, boo boo. Like you know, whatever you feel you want to do. I think the Ken impressions are all in good fun. I mean, I don't think there's anything malicious about it. So, I was just curious because I felt like there was that you just didn't like him for whatever. I wasn't sure why you didn't like him.
No,
I get it.
He is a great character in this season, and he's someone that I'm trying to understand as a person and a player.
Yeah, and it's just like language, it's tough, Rob. Sometimes it is.
Okay, and just to prove it, I'm going to play a clip of Ken talking about what he's going to cook for the tribe, and I am not going to do any impressions. Okay. Just to prove that I can do it.
Okay.
Today we have a salted cracked pepper roasted coconut that'll be going on top of a sweet and spicy pumpkin mash. Pumpkin mash gives you the nice little bit of sweet flavor with a good bit of crushed red pepper pop, and the roasted salted black pepper coconut on top gives you just a nice little bit of the savory mix. So perfect sweet and savory mix for breakfast, and one of my survivor favorites.
Wait, so there was another secret scene of Ken cooking?
Apparently.
Oh man, wow! I was waiting for Sir Squidington to come up again, but then I was like, oh no, this is an entire new Ken cooking segment.
Yeah, a whole new one.
Yeah, well, maybe if Ken can figure out how to give me a break. Maybe if Ken can figure out how to do podcasts, he can do his own cooking podcast, because it seems like he's a really good chef.
Like Mike Bloom, Antonio, Kirk Clark, and Josh Wigler, who podcast about Top Chef. Okay, all right. Well, let's get off the Ken subject. I don't want to get any more angry phone calls from Ken. All right, so you ready? You want to get more people mad at me?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right, let's play a voicemail from Matt Wojis. Here he is.
It's time to play Reunion Q&A. Tonight's contestants are Ralph Sesternino and Jordan Parhar. They're going to pick 3 survivors. Jeff will not ask a question to at the reunion. The player with the lowest score will win a mason jar filled with their favorite candy. Place your bets now.
For the record, I did not put the music in there that Matt calls in with his own music for America's favorite reunion game show, Who will not speak? All right, Jordan.
I love this game. I'm so honored. I didn't even realize that I was going to get to play. So thank you, Matt, for the introduction. That was great.
All right, so here we go. Of course, just for our new listeners, let's remind everybody how we play the game. So we will do a draft. We will do a snake draft, just like Jordan's Fantasy Football League. And so we are going to then pick out 3 people each, and the goal is to pick out people who will not speak and who will not be spoken of at the reunion. Now, again, the scoring, I think, is a little bit fuzzy in my mind in terms of, big cast, so lots of different places to go. You want to draft the people that will not get a question and also will not get spoken of, okay?
Okay, so zero mention of their existence.
Right. So if they get a question, then that's 3 points, okay? So 3 points, okay, for your person. They got a question. If they get mentioned, I think that's 1 point. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
In terms of the scoring?
Yeah, so, and it's like golf, so you want the lowest score.
Right. So it's like if one of my people gets a question, but then they're not mentioned again, and then 2 of your people get mentioned, I still lose because my one person got a question. But like, if, you got a person that got mentioned 4 times and I only got 1 question, then, okay? So here we go. Here's the draft. 20 people. Let's go. All right, I'll give you the number 1 pick overall. And again, you got to worry about, is Sia going to come out? Is she going to take somebody's time? I mean, Sia really ended up screwing up things for Sydney, who you would have thought was definitely going to get a question.
Yeah, that was a total blindside on that one. So yeah, I think it's going to get tough eventually, but I think right off the hop, I think it's really easy. There was one person who didn't even talk on the show and wasn't even really mentioned on the show, so therefore I think it's safe to say we won't hear they won't get a question and they won't be mentioned at all in the reunion show. My first pick is going to be Lucy.
Lucy! Oh.
I feel really good about that pick, Rob. I'm feeling very safe. She's going to get 0 points because, no one's going to talk to her.
Poor Lucy, the number 1 pick overall. I can't knock the pick. I mean, what would be the question that would go to Lucy?
Lucy, why did you say nothing and then all of a sudden become a dictator for one episode?
The thing is that I think that maybe that one could come back to bite you, that I feel like that maybe Lucy could be mentioned if there is a question like, actually, let's talk this through, but maybe that tribal council where she got voted out might get mentioned.
Yeah, I guess, but they might be like, we voted out,
your person, they won't even remember their name.
They won't even remember her name, yeah. I mean, I don't see Lucy on social media really or anything, and I don't really see her being the type that would be like best friends with all these people, so, Lucy, I'm very, I've said some stuff on this podcast already. I'm going to say some stuff after this. There is nothing I am more sure of than the fact that Lucy will not get asked a question and she will not be mentioned. Lock it in, Rob.
Unlikely.
Yeah. All right. So you've left me with 2 picks in a row.
Yes.
I think I'm going right to my 2 picks. I think that with my first pick for my team, second pick overall, gotta go Rachel. I mean, the first boot on these things is typically a pretty solid choice. I don't even know what Jeff would ask Rachel at this point, so I think that is a pretty solid pick at number 2 on the draft board. And then, any thoughts on Rachel?
Yeah, she was my number 2 selection. I mean, unless Playboy gets worked in somehow, I don't see her.
Oh, come on. All right. She's had a tough go of this. All right. And then number 3, I got to go Cece.
Yeah, that's a really good pick. I like the Cece pick. Because what is Cece going to add to the reunion? Jeff isn't going to go to her. Jeff loves his bros. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. And I don't think he's not going to go to Cece.
Okay. All right. Here's where things get tricky. All right, Jordan, you get 2 picks in a row.
2 picks in a row for me. Okay. Well, with this next one, I think, again, when you go with the earlier people, it's probably the safer bet, especially on an all-newbie season. I think she's great, but I don't know if she's really going to come up at all in the finale. So I'm going to pick Mari here.
Mari. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to take Mari. I don't feel as good about that one, but I just feel like Jeff's just not even going to take a look at those first 5 or so people that got voted out. So I'm going to take Mari with the pick there.
I want to just clarify one thing in the rules, and then I'm going to offer you if you want to change any of your picks, okay? This is a little bit of a scoring clarification.
Yes.
Okay. So, I also, those 3 points and you want the lowest possible score, if Jeff asks a question, and 1 point if they get mentioned, but I forgot about the 2 points for a blurt.
Oh, so if they say something, then you
if they weren't called on, but they just actually, Jeff, what happened was...
yeah, but I mean, even then, I'm okay. I'll keep Mari. It's okay because I don't know if I could see Mari doing that, but at the same time,
being a blurter.
Yeah, I could see her doing that, but I mean, in order for her to be a blurter, she's gonna have to blurt on something that she has insight on. And being the first person voted out of the Millennials tribe, she wasn't there for the entire game. So, I mean, unless Mari is a lot less self-aware than I think she is, I don't think she'll say anything. But she could. She certainly could. There's definitely a possibility there.
You don't think that maybe there could be some Hannah conversation, and you're like, Jeff, that's so Hannah. That's so Hannah. She's talking about puppies and butts and still...
But I think Hannah's a candidate to also have nothing asked to her, to be honest. So, I really don't think so.
You're right, that's fun.
Very true, Rob. Very true. Okay. I'm gonna say this next pick here. Again, I'm Jeff Probst. If I'm him, where am I gonna go? Who do I not want to talk to? I'm looking at earlier votes. I don't want someone who's gonna flirt. I'm gonna say Michelle. Michelle's a really big fan. Yeah, he's a question that you can ask Michelle. Yeah, he's not gonna ask Michelle a question. She's definitely not gonna flirt.
I think that's probably as long as the season went 5 women on pick.
Paul's a dumbass, so he's gonna say something stupid. I'm all aboard that train. As soon as, and even if he says anything, Rob, I'm gonna tweet just hashtag #allblurt. He's a complete moron. Like he thinks he's the star.
What did you do? Run your dog over? Why is it so down on Paul?
No, it's true, Rob. He's just dumb. I think maybe that's because I'm a millennial, the comment about him saying that I have milk delivered to me in drones, that really irked me because I was just like, what? What do you think we are? My generation? What are you even talking about? Drones are getting my milk? What? But at the
same time, the fact that you're so triggered over this one comment, are you just playing right into his hand?
Maybe, I guess, but I don't know, Rob. I just really don't like, and maybe it's because I'm also a dumb person, but I just don't like dumb people. And Paul's he's dumb. He's an idiot. He's stupid. He's so stupid. So yeah, no, I think that's a bad pick, Rob. He's gonna say something, and I think that ultimately is what it's gonna come down to Paul versus Mari. I really think that's who's gonna be the blurter. But
battle of blurts. What is Paul gonna blurt out?
I don't know. He's gonna be like, I feel like he's the type who, you're having a conversation. You would probably have a conversation with him, and he knows nothing about what it is that you're talking about. But he would just have to be like, oh well, yeah, that's like the time that when I was in my rock band and like we were singing a cover of.
No, he'll talk about the game. He's not gonna talk about like.
Well, no, he'll just like if a Gen Xer wins, like if Ken wins, he'll be like, oh yeah, like I knew, yeah, Ken was so good, and yeah, the Gen Xers were so great, and all millennials suck. I don't know. He's just stupid, Rob. Who knows what goes on in his brain?
Yeah, I mean, I could see him maybe being the blurter when they ask Jessica a question, but I have to say, going back to my exit interview with him, I thought he was pretty civil. Like, I really thought he was going to be one of these people that comes on and really rips a new one into some of these cast members. But he was actually pretty civil that day, so you don't know. But maybe the green room, you don't know what's going on back there. So who knows?
He's gonna see the audience. He likes being in front of an audience. And he's going to do whatever it takes for him to let his Paul Blurt out. He really is.
Okay, Paul Blurt could be unleashed on finale night. All right, so just to recap, Jordan's team is Lucy, Mari, and Michelle. And then I have Rachel, Cece, and Paul. And I will be at the finale, so maybe I'll bring a sign that will say, Mari, Blurt.
Rob, can I please mail you a Paul Blurt sign for you to have? Hashtag Paul Blurt. You just hold it up during the reunion.
I was in the room last year when Mike Bloom and I did the first. Well, no, I'm sorry, 1 year ago, not last season. And I was in the room when Mike Bloom had Sierra on his team. And I'm pretty sure that was the first question that Jeff went to in the Cambodia finale. Sierra, I gotta know. I was like, ha! Really exciting.
Yeah,
not a second in the game.
Yeah, I felt bad for Mike that time. It's so hard with the returning players because Jeff obviously has his favorites, but with newbies, it's so much easier to pick because Jeff has nothing invested in.
We'll see. We'll see how easy it is.
Yeah.
All right, so let's keep going, and why don't we do a question? This is from Trevor from Vancouver.
Hey guys, this is Trevor from Vancouver. So in other reality TV shows, having more super fans doesn't always mean better TV. We won't mention any specific Big Brother Canada seasons. But on this season of Survivor, the more super duper fans you have, the better season of Survivor you're going to get. Love to hear your thoughts. Love you, bays.
So Jordan, this is an interesting sort of thought experiment where having more super fans on Survivor, does that make a better season, and is the corollary true for Big Brother?
Ooh, yeah, I think for Big Brother, I mean, it really leads to the players playing either they go play way too hard and they mess up. I know some players do that. I don't know too much about that, but some players, they just way overthink it and just do horribly and mess up, and they can vote themselves out. But then there's also other players that are super fans who just lay back and do nothing, which is incredibly boring, and people don't really like that, and sometimes they don't really have a case to win. So yeah, with Big Brother, for whatever reason, it doesn't really translate so much. For Survivor, I always think it's nice. It's good to have a nice mix. I think that I think this season is good. I think we have, we've got Adam, we've got David, we've got Zeke, we've got Will, we've got Hannah. That's a good number to have right there. Anything beyond that, I think, is probably, might be too much, because I think that, if you have too many fans, they know the game too much. It's nice, as Steven said on Know It Alls the other night, it's nice to have a good mix of, really good gameplay and really bad gameplay. And we have all super fans, you're not always going to get that really bad gameplay all the time. Sometimes they're going to be doing it. But a lot of times that bad gameplay is going to come from, other players. And it's nice. The other thing too, as well, is when you have all super fans and you're playing against all super fans, you can kind of predict what they're going to do. But when you have the super fans and they're playing against people that aren't huge Survivor fans and look at the game in a different light, it's harder for them to predict what exactly is going to happen and read what their next move is going to be, because they aren't also thinking like a super fan. So, in my opinion, I think it's just it's good to have a mix of both.
Ideally, it's good to have a mix. You don't want to have 20 super duper fans all in one season.
Survivor super duper fan like me.
But I do think that maybe the game has evolved to the point where somebody who had not seen much Survivor at all, or maybe had just seen a season, but somebody who was not into it, I do not think that player could win anymore. I think that the game has changed so much, that it's so fast, and there's so much going on between vote splits and advantages. I'm trying to think of who was the last player to have success in this game that really knew nothing about Survivor.
Like, had literally seen nothing, hadn't seen it at all. I guess in terms of, if we're thinking purely winners, will we have to go back to Fabio?
I mean, probably. I mean, I think it's been that long, and I mean, that's pretty kooky. Because I think in Big Brother that we do have people who come into the game and are really just, recruits, don't know much, and then they learn the game on the fly and do, a pretty good job. There is not a big difference at the end of the season between somebody who barely knows anything about Big Brother, and then, I mean, even look at, and maybe it's not the best example, but Paul from Big Brother this season, and he makes a very bad move at the end of the game, but for the most part, I mean, he's fine.
Yeah, I think part of it with the recruits, that the reason why they do better on Big Brother, and I'm talking pure person who hasn't seen anything at all really. I think what helps them is that the game is a lot slower in Big Brother. It's now in Big Brother US, it's 100 days long. Each vote is every week. It's not every 3 days. And if you're not nominated on the block, you can't go home. So it gives those players more time to pick it up and learn it. Whereas with Survivor, you kind of just get thrown to the wolves right away. Every 3 days you're going to tribal council. It's much harder to pick it up and be successful at it. You have to have innate social ability to really be able to pull that off. And I'm talking really crazy good social ability. So yeah, I think that's really a big factor in it.
Okay, so keep going. Keep bringing in people who know what they're doing, and I think it's helping make the game faster and faster. Okay, here's a question from Millennial Max and his mom.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Jordan.
This is Millennial Max.
And this is Max's mom.
From Michigan.
We know you are both team good TV.
You guys want good TV?
Yes.
But we have really been enjoying this drama-free season.
Roger that.
Like Australian Survivor, we enjoy when the contestants are good sportsmanships.
Do you guys think a villainless and relatively drama-free season can be good TV? And we'll just end the call.
I thought they were going to say, we'll just show up.
Yes, that would have been, I think that's what they were going for. They're like the Baylor and Missy of the voicemail show.
And we'll just show up.
Yeah. We are Baylor and Missy.
I don't know, but Millennial Max and Max's mom, you guys should go on Blood vs. Water 3. I think that would be fun.
Well, will Millennial Max be allowed to drink? Is the question.
Yeah, that's.
And what if his mom says he can? Yeah.
Hey, some kids, some parents are cool like that, Rob. So, I was. I don't advocate that, but as somebody who is a teenager more recently than you. I understand if that happens. But I guess to answer the question, then I guess we want to know, so is a season without a villain, can that be a good season? I think that, yeah, I don't think, without question.
Is this a good season?
Yeah, it's a great season, and there's no villain, and that's something, I saw, I think it was Alex Kidwell was tweeting with someone saying, who's the villain of the season? Oh, is it Zeke? And I was like, well, Zeke's not really the villain. Of the season, and then I started thinking, is there really any villain this season? And yeah, there isn't one, but I don't think that's bad. I think that, like they said, this is something this is why I love Survivor, is that every single time you saw with Will, when he was thrilled when he got voted out. He's just like, all right, this is awesome. I was on Survivor. Great job, guys. See you later. That's just a thing of beauty. That's what I think more. I hope more seasons are like that moving forward. I hope Big Brother can one day be like that. It'll never be like that, but I hope it could be like that one day.
Good sportsmanships.
Yeah, good sportsmanships. Yeah, I mean, it's good to have good sports. It is, and I love seeing that. I'm sure you do too.
Let's check in with our good buddy Syrup Guy, who has another question about Will.
What's up, Rob and JP? Syrup Guy calling from Canada. My question is, who is the best teen Survivor player of 2016, Julia or Will? Thanks, guys. Jordan, watch out for the snowstorm that's coming.
Whoa.
604 Prava.
Oh yeah, wow, Joel, man, I love how Joel always calls in when I'm on the voicemails, the syrup guy. But yeah, we do have a snowstorm, Rob.
Yeah, that's the only time he ever calls in.
Yeah, it's whenever I'm on. So big shout out to Syrup Guy. But yeah, Rob, there is a snowstorm coming. I podcast in my garage. So right now I've got slippers on. I've got like 4 layers on because it's so cold. I've got a beanie. Or a toque, as they call in Canada.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a scary weekend.
Okay. Well, stay warm. And what do you think about the idea of the best teenager of the year on Survivor? Who are you giving the award to?
Oh, man, that is really hard. I mean, I was on with you. We did that bonus show in the spring during Co Wrong. And I was super high on Julia. I was very high on Julia during the season. And I actually was really high on Will this season too. I thought Will did a fantastic job. I mean, that guy, he's more mature than a lot of Gen Xers that I know, and he's only 18. So hats off to Will. I mean, very impressive. Yes, Duke's off to Will. Very impressive what he was able to pull off, and I love that he was going for the win. That's what I love about both of them. I think both Julia and Will understood. Hey, I gotta make these moves in order to win the game, and they weren't afraid to do to try to make bold plays in order to get to the end. I guess it's very close. I guess I would have to say. Julia. I'll just barely give it to her, but I mean, it's very, very tough for me, Rob. What do you think?
Julia or Will, who is better? I think that if I was going to just put it in, who is more likely to get a second shot, I feel like I would say Julia. I think that they both played hard. I think that she probably is going to be more sort of going to fit a casting need that they may have in another season. Like, I totally could see her being back in some random all-star season where I have a harder time seeing Will in that role, even if it's like 3 or 4 years down the road.
Yeah, the thing with Will that I think is really intriguing is, if he was already this mature at 18 and he already had all this insight and all these plans and all this stuff, his first time playing Survivor, what would he be like in 5 years? I think that's
probably a very good player. I'm just thinking from the television show in terms of like, what's the story to bring Will back 2 or 3 years later? Where I feel like, I mean, Natalie Tenorelli, who did much less. I mean, she went further, but she was much less aggressive. Was in the mix for second chance. Like, she could have been a 2-time player.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think Will is a compelling character. But we can agree to disagree. I do hear where you're coming from. I do think there is an easier path for Julia because there are fewer females that have played an aggressive game like that, and she's more, I guess, unique than Will is. So
Survivor has brought back returnees, especially returnee women that have made less of a contribution than Julia did in Co-Wrong.
That is true. Yes, and I bet they continue to do that.
That's my prediction for 2017.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see, Rob. I don't know, Rob. I don't know. That I don't think Survivor would do something like that. I don't. But we'll see.
All right. Then speaking of Will, here is another call that we got. Another anonymous tip that came in from Florida this week. Here's that tip.
Do you think Will was allowed to drink beer at Ponderosa? Maybe if his mother was there?
Boy, the same guy keeps calling in to talk about this.
It kind of sounds like Paul. Like,
Paul?
I think Paul, Paul.
He just blurted that out?
Yeah, he blurted it out. That's why he didn't say his name or anything. He just called, picked up the phone, and was like, yeah, he's drinking beer. I don't know. Will probably he didn't have beers at Ponderosa. He didn't. They wouldn't. CBS would be too concerned with it. But even if he did, you know what? Like, kids do stupid stuff like that all the time. So I don't see the issue with that. It's beer.
Okay, play this out, Jordan. Okay, so you spent many months of your life in sequester, in jury, in Big Brother. How long were you sequestered for?
So just for the jury, I was sequestered for 5 weeks, and then before the game started, a week. So 6 weeks of my life in total.
Okay, so Will gets to Ponderosa, okay? Will's not allowed to drink. Do you think, is he going, like, to Zeke and being like, Zeke, man, I'm telling you, do me a solid, like, sneak me a beer in this, like, fill this up. Is he trying to get the other players to sneak him alcohol in Ponderosa?
Well, as somebody who relied heavily upon alcohol during my time in sequester, and I'm talking heavily.
Believe me.
So
mother's milk.
Yeah, it really is. I'm sure he did. Why not? He's of course, like, he's only human. I mean, I would as well. I'm sure, Zeke was probably like, all right, yeah, sure, why not, man? And I'm sure there was probably somebody at Ponderosa, and I'm sure, maybe they thought, oh, maybe Will's doing it, but I'm sure they turned a blind eye to it because they're not that cruel. They really aren't. I don't think they could be.
I mean, when I was in, I don't know what we want to call Ponderosa, the pre-jury trip on Survivor All-Stars, I mean, I was going through vodka like nobody's business. Even Rudy was like, I can't even believe how much this guy is going through.
What was Rudy's drink of choice, Rob?
Rudy would just drink a beer. He's wasn't really a big drinker. I think he would just have a beer, and he wasn't drinking any hard liquor. And Tina, I don't even think she drinks. So it was a lot of drinking by myself.
Wow. Did they supply you with whatever you wanted, or was it more so?
Yeah, you could go to the grocery store and just buy stuff.
Oh wow, yeah. So that's kind of we had they had some sort of sponsorship with a brewery. Big Brother Canada did. So when I showed up to the jury house, we had 3 fridges on our property, and 2 of them were just filled with beers.
And all the Twistos you could eat.
And all the Twistos I could eat. Yes, that actually happened. It was great. And I put on 20 pounds. It was awesome. Twistos and booze.
If only Ken would have been there to cook you some well-balanced meals.
Some squid really would have helped things, Rob. It really would have.
Yes. Okay. Here is one more voicemail from one of our listeners. This is from Jared.
Hey, Rob C, it's me, Jules Jared, and this is my question for my good buddy Jordan Parhar there. Hey, Jordan, it's me, Jules Jared. I was just sort of wondering, do you think that it was a good idea for Jay not to cut his luscious locks to become more aerodynamic and win the mini challenge yesterday? Because apparently, it's become good to make fun of certain reality stars to not cut their hair and win certain reality shows. So that's kind of my concern. So basically,
Jordan, what is Jared even talking about? He's rambling.
I don't even know what he's referring to, Rob. I mean, it sounds like he's referring to something that only maybe 2 or 3 people would understand, and it's supposed to be a joke or something. But I don't really with Jay cutting his hair. I just don't get it.
Yeah, that wasn't even an option to get immunity to cut his hair this season. No, it didn't happen on this show.
No, that sounds like something they would do in Canada, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining that.
All right, so I don't want to end on that note. I have one other. Let's try another voicemail. See if we can redeem ourselves.
Okay.
Hey, Rob, this is Ken. Apparently, I might make the final tribal council, and I was wondering how much credit you think I should give to Sir Squeedington in my final.
Come on, stop it with this. I have enough problems. People calling in. We got Ken, Jealous Jared, everybody's calling in. Last voicemail show of the season. Actually, we're gonna do one more voicemail show with Josh Wigler today.
Oh, nice.
So we'll do feedback there. But last proper voicemail show of the season.
Yeah, all the crazies are coming out, Rob.
Yes. All right, before we get into the social media, let me just take a moment and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. Those are friends over at CISO, Mike Bloom's favorite, CISO.com, the streaming comedy site. It's comedy for comedy nerds. Look, Hannah, it might be the number 14 best thing on television right now, but there's so many other great things that are on TV, and CISO has so many of your favorite comedy shows, like original comedy series that are currently airing now, like Harmon Quest, which is the Dan Harmon series of him playing Dungeons and Dragons with his friends. Take My Wife, $1 bajillion Properties, another one of Mike Bloom's favorites, and much more, including every episode of SNL ever, including new episodes the day after they air, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Late Night with Seth Meyers, and classics like 30 Rock, Parks and Rec, and Saved by the Bell.
Wait, you can actually watch Saved by the Bell on there?
Yes, Saved by the Bell. Not the knockoff Saved by Brett LaBelle, where he's just really mad at the latest rules that Mr. Belding is trying to, Belding, come on, stop it. Come on, these rules. Get out of here.
And give me a break.
Yeah.
It's the real Saved by the Bell, not like the new class or college years. It's the good one.
The good one.
Nice.
That's right.
That's awesome.
That's right. So our listeners can check out CISO for free for 2 months with our promo code RHAP at checkout. Shows you can't get anywhere else. Take My Wife, Harmon Quest, all 40 years of SNL. CISO is the only place that offers every episode ever made and the new episodes the day after they air. It's just for $3.99 a month. Just go to CISO.com right now and get 2 months for free with promo code RHAP and checkout. That's CISO.com, promo code RHAP. And with that, Jordan, let's talk about the Survivor social media.
Tweets, baby, tweets. Survivor tweets. They're better than winning against the young version of me. Tweets.
Okay, so I asked the great Ryan Elder for clarification on this, but I'm still awaiting a response. I believe he says it's better than winning against a younger version of me?
Tweets, baby, tweets. Survivor tweets. They're better than winning against a young version of me. Tweets.
So I was asking him, who's the me in that song? Is it Rob Cesternino? Is it Ryan Elder? Is it you?
I think he's referring
Is it the letter U?
apparently, Ken said that in the episode. He said that Jay was like a younger version of him. So I believe that is what the reference is.
Oh, the Ken reference.
Yes.
Apparently, Jay is the younger version of me.
Yeah, that's what he said. I think after he won immunity, I'm pretty sure that's what he said. So I'll have to check the footage.
Okay, so Jay is the younger version of Ken.
Wrong.
Okay. Yes, and the great Ryan Elder, the author of the wonderful theme to Happy Hour with George Barhart.
Yeah, it's a great theme song. Ryan made it one day while he was in between. I think it was like halftime in a football game, and he just came up with it. So very, very talented guy, Ryan Elder is.
All right, here's Brett LaBelle. At Brett LaBelle, he said, here we go, West Coast. Sorry I'm 10 minutes late, but I'm drinking down the Cape. Enjoy.
Wait, he's watching with the West Coast? Isn't Brett on the East Coast?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he's either got a sling box, the Cape. Where's that? That's the East Coast still, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe he's just tweeting again. Back around.
Yeah, why not, bro?
Hey, look, last Wednesday night of the season before the finale, you're not able to, be tweeting all night long at the finale.
Yeah, give you another chance to do it. Why not?
All right. Jessica Figueroa, at #Figgy, she said, fighting for that GOAT position? LOL. Oh boy. #bah. What does that mean? What is she talking about?
I guess bah is, she thinks bah is what goats say, but isn't bah like a sheep sound?
Is she throwing shade at Hannah when she says fighting for that GOAT position? Yeah. LOL, oh boy.
Yeah, I believe that is what Figgy is trying to do. Figgy is also like that's disgusting. I don't understand why Figgy has to go on social media and just trash her entire cast because she sucks at the game. Adam said it early on. Figgy sucks at Survivor, and she sucks at social media
too. Soundboard after she got voted off. I'm sorry. Figgy sucks at Survivor. He's at the game of Survivor.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Anyway, just I don't get Figgy.
Yeah. What about Figtails? Did you get that?
I mean, I understood why it was a thing because they're both two young, attractive human being millennials that have hormones raging through their bodies.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, they're both idiots.
I do feel like that I would love if we had some sort of a year in review award show. Best reality TV scandal of the year. I wonder if it would go to the Figtails Paternity Saga or Joey Rodriguez.
Oh, come on. Joey Rodriguez wins all day long, baby. That's no question. No question. Give me a break.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. Here's T-Bird. T-Bird said, window to wall. Oh no, do not like these overconfident comments from Will. Now worried for his safety tonight. I mean, that literally is the T-Bird watching the scary movie in the movie theater. No, Will, do not go in there. Do not make that plans with everybody.
I think T-Bird might be one of my just favorite people ever. I just love T-Bird.
Wow,
so
I didn't
much.
know this.
Yeah, I love T-Bird. She's so fun. Like, she's just so funny. It's so entertaining. Just I don't know. Maybe it's because I only get T-Bird in small doses, but I just really just think she's great. She's awesome.
Yeah. Then also T-Bird said, at Adam Scott Klein and at J__QS, your Thelma and Louise relationship is so endearing. Is it possible for you two to both win? A very Gen X comment by T-Bird to raise the specter of Thelma and Louise.
But also kind of a millennial comment in that, like, can't you both win? It sounds like she wants to hand out participation trophies. So interesting take from T-Bird. Give me a break.
Yeah.
I thought Thelma and Louise were like, Rob, enlighten me. Weren't Thelma and Louise like friends and they broke the law once and went on the road together or something? Isn't that the story?
Yeah, they were. I don't believe the movie starts, and I've never seen Thelma and Louise, but that's not a. I'm not lying. Thelma and Louise, I think that they were friends, right? It wasn't like that they were enemies, then they became friends.
Yeah, so I don't understand the reference, but maybe it's because we haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it ends with spoiler alert, and they just like drive off a car into the sunset, and I think that means they both lose, T-Bird.
Yeah, I guess, right?
Yeah. At Niche Fitz said, LOL at this big moves convo.
Oh, Michelle Fitzgerald. Did you see was it Entertainment Weekly where Jeff Probst went on and he said that you have to make big moves to win? Look at all of the past winners, and he listed every single winner except Michelle.
Bro, I know.
In the last 10 seasons. He then later said, oh, well, Michelle won too by playing quiet, but we want to see big moves. Jeff loves the big moves.
It sounds like a bunch of malarkey to me.
Yeah. So, Jeff had talked about he says he's tired of all these bloggers who talk about big moves, and they can get up off their couch and play this game if they want to. And a couple people said, I think he's talking about you and Steven.
I don't think he's talking about you and Steve. Is he? I mean, you guys played. I think he's talking more so about, the trolls that are probably on, I don't know, Twitter saying stuff to him, or maybe, I don't know.
They're not bloggers, though. Those are trolls.
But Jeff doesn't know the correct jargon. He just thinks, oh yeah, they're bloggers because they're on Twitter. I just think he doesn't understand what to refer to them as. But I don't think he's taking shots at you guys. I guess you guys have gone. You've said you don't necessarily have to make big moves to win, but I don't know. Doesn't Jeff like you guys?
I mean, I think he likes us. Do we say? I feel like that Steven poo-poos the big moves more than I do.
Yeah, I think so. So if anything, if it is you guys, he's mad at Steven, Rob, not you. So you're okay.
Yeah. Here's Jeff's exact quote. He says to Dalton Ross from today about the big move conversation. I sometimes hear from Survivor bloggers that I say things like this so people will make big moves. But to those critics, I say, when you're ready to get off your ass and actually play, call me. The format of Survivor is the star of the show. It works. The game has evolved because of the gameplay, and that comes from the players. I'm not saying you can't win by playing a somewhat quiet game. Michelle did that last season, but the overwhelming majority of recent winners have earned their votes by playing hard. Next question.
Yeah, interesting statement by Jeff. I mean, and he goes on and lists all these people. I mean, talks about Mike Holloway and Mike Holloway's big auction move, which was a big move, but it was a huge mistake, and he just happened to get lucky and win. So I don't know about that, but yeah, interesting. Call me, Rob. Maybe you should call Jeff. You don't have his phone number though, do you?
I don't have his phone number, but if making big moves is cool, consider me Miles Davis, okay?
It's true. That is true.
All right? So, at Johnny Fairplay said, Will's grown-up voice sounded like when I tried to talk grown-up about 35 years ago.
I want to hear that young Fairplay trying to do the deep voice. Well, I wonder why Fairplay would do it. Maybe for didn't Fairplay try to get in WWE or something?
Yeah, or something.
Or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems like what he would do.
Okay, at Julia Sokolowski, the aforementioned Julia Sokolowski, she says, yeah, we get it. You're the youngest person to ever play. A little bit of shade. What about a Julia versus Will season? Were you on board with that?
Oh yeah, I'm on board. That would be a great season. It would be cool if they had all teenagers and then it was Julia versus
They were
Will.
The youngest players we've ever had. They both came out and played hard. Now they're back.
Or you know what would be great if they had 4 tribes. They had the 2 youngest players ever, and then they had the 2 oldest players ever. So we got Rudy Bosch out there, and then who? Sonya, I guess? I don't know.
I don't even know who these kids are, and I don't even care about any of them, and I hope they all lose. Oh, Rudy, you can't say that. I don't even know what a participation trophy is.
Do you think Will is younger than Rudy's grandchildren?
I don't want to do the math on that, but yeah, probably. I mean,
it's crazy. It's crazy. Oh man.
I mean, for the sake of that, Rudy's grandkids, I don't think are 18.
Because I was gonna say you could maybe make the season grandparents versus grandkids. I think that might be an interesting twist, and then each of them has a captain of Julia and Rudy and Will and I guess Sonya, whoever the oldest person other than her is on a tribe. I think that'd be fun.
Okay, then a couple other quotes from the other players. At Eric Reichenbach says, this Survivor jury looks terrible. They're completely sober. #Micronesia jury for the win. How long was Eric on the Micronesia jury?
Not long, right? I mean, when didn't he give up immunity at final 6, final 5?
Mm-hmm. I think it was 5.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, maybe?
Yeah. And then, Jordan, I got one last exercise for you here today. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Tweets, baby, tweets, Rupert. Tweets that are better than something that happened on Survivor. Rupert tweets.
All right. Now, Jordan, this is where things get a little tricky. So Rupert was not live tweeting during the episode last night. He said that there was a problem with the heat at Rupert's kids. And so he was not able to live tweet Survivor Wednesday night. So that is precisely why Daniel Schiffman has invented the Rupert bot. Okay? So the Rupert bot, though, is still, working out the details. The reveries has not really been installed quite yet, and the Rupert bot is still learning how to tweet.
Yeah, the Rupert bot actually tweeted me a few days ago and said that it was learning. So indeed, yes, it is.
Okay, so the Rupert bot tweeted during the episode. Now, the Rupert bot has some really kooky tweets from last night. This is some of Rupert bot's tweets from the show. Tweeted, thanks, ? To equality could included those bamboo, #who voted for me. Rupert bot also had a tweet that was LST period. That's a word, LST period. So I don't even know what that means.
So what is it? Does the Rupert bot just pull old things that Rupert has said?
We don't know. We don't know.
Okay.
You have to ask Arnold.
LST must be something that Rupert Bonehead must have tweeted at some point, and then Rootbot learned that.
Yeah. He also said last night, "Don't you all think Brenda has shared what Dawn did with the jury? You are angry when you are on the jury. Dawn's crying gets old." He makes a good point there.
That was that one tweet.
Yeah, that's one tweet, but that actually made sense.
Yeah, it did.
So, that's all a coherent thought. Yeah. He also said, "I believe it is extremely opponent/contender if Laura. I hope you are unacceptable, tribe." So, okay. All right, so here we go. So that's a little taste of the Rupert bot. We have for you 3 Rupert bot tweets and 1 Alexis_Maxwell tweet.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so here's a little taste of the Rupert bot and then an Alexis Maxwell tweet. You tell me which is which, okay?
Yep.
Number 1, I hope so. That's a Rupert tweet. Okay? Number 2, Jay is magical. Okay? That's a Rupert tweet. Number 3, no nutrition. Rupert tweet. Sorry, and that's no nutrition # Survivor Millennials versus Gen X. Okay. And then finally, heck, most of # Survivor Millennials versus Gen X.
What?
Yeah. Okay. 3 of those were Rupert bot tweets. 1 of them is an Alexis Maxwell tweet. Your job is to find the Alexis Maxwell tweet.
Okay. This should be easy, but knowing me, I'll probably mess it up. What was the second tweet? Could you say that for me again?
Jay is magical.
I am going to say that is the Alexis Maxwell tweet.
Yeah, too easy.
Ding, ka-ching, ka-ching.
I need the real Rupert tweeting. And say, real Alexis Maxwell. Now, maybe one day if we could get to the Alexis Maxwell bot, maybe now this is something.
That would be something. Oh, man.
Yes, okay. So, unfortunately, if the real Rupert isn't tweeting, then there's also the Rupert bot. I saw there was also a Russell Hantz bot. I'm not sure if that's canon. I'm not sure who's behind the Hantz bot.
Yeah, I saw that the Hantz bot followed me the other day, and I was very excited because I thought it was an RHAP led initiative.
No, I don't know. I haven't heard from the creator of the Russell Hantz bot. It could be created by Russell Hantz.
Do you think the Russell Hantz bot swears at the Rupert bot?
No, I don't know if there's a rivalry or not. The Hantz bot, that is the Hantz bot, again, that he does reference the @RootBot in his bio. Hantz bot says, "Follow me, the Russell Hantz bot 2000. I tweet about Survivor and other nonsense. I tweet the greatest tweets of all time. You may know my brother bot @RootBot." So I don't know if this is canon or not.
I don't think this is canon because the Russell Hantz bot it's coherent from what I'm seeing.
No, the Russell Hantz bot is not coherent. This is a little taste of Russell Hantz bot from yesterday. He said, "A Survivor that play to following with most sucks though, winner." He also said the Hantz bot does get into emoticons. Like he has a smiley face emoticon. "You my idiots at screwed.com. LMAO. I like the mistake. Smiley face emoticon."
Well, it's authentic to Russell.
Yeah,
Russell's all about those.
I don't know how much the Hantz bot is drinking. Also, he also said, "Hope # Survivor finale is when Olympics been in that next channel."
I think we should have done. There's the next game, Rob. When you're in this predicament where the Rupert bot and Rupert don't both tweet at the same time, it should be send out all the tweets, and then the person has to figure out, was that the Russell Hantz bot or the Rupert bot?
Oh, that's a good twist on it.
Yeah.
All right. And last one, the greatest handspot tweet of all time. He said, "You be yourself, the player, making you more kinky. ... Be the game! !" I might have to favorite, and I would retweet. I worry about repercussions from the real Russell. You be yourself, the player. You more kinky. ... Be the game. I'd like that on my tombstone. The hand.
I think people would see that.
That'd be my yearbook quote.
Yeah, people would see that and be like, "Wow, that guy's lived a great life."
Yes. What would the Jordan Parhar bot tweet about?
Fantasy football
Yes.
and other things that people don't care about.
My fantasy football team really sucks. It's not that good. Why did I trade Jai?
Hey, Rob. Speaking of fantasy football, though, I beat you and Akiva in the Rob is a Fantasy Football League last week in the playoffs. So, how about that?
How about that? Yes. So I really did take my eye off the prize this year in fantasy football across the board. Not my most flattering fantasy football year.
Yeah, that's okay. You'll bounce back next year, Rob. Next year.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody.
I think that probably
This is December 13th.
that is my New York
Pretty weird day.
Just taking my heart out of it.
It's cold here. Thank you for being here this morning. To Pat Hacker and Melissa Hayes, Metalhead, Chris McDermott, Andy Mann. That'd be Marcus, who's in here with me right now.
They'll be better off drafting Lucy in the first
Your audio's on. Good morning.
Hello there. Good morning, America.
Hi, everybody. This is, let me pull up my chair.
Listen, I would like Lucy as the coach.
I wasn't gonna sit.
Lucy was a dictator. I don't even know what's going on with
Even though I spent a long time yesterday in the airport doing nothing but sitting on my ass.
Yeah, that's rough. You got Bryce Petty now.
All right.
They're 3-9.
Corey got me a new
They're not going to win again.
Matt.
You'll get it.
Kind of goes around different now.
The Green Pants.
How is everybody? Hi, Jonathan. How are you?
All right. So
Nice to have you. Both Changa?
Jordan, the hashtag we have to go
Jonathan
with
Ayala?
alert.
Yes.
I'm terrible with last names.
All right,
Right now,
let's see if we can get that trending on
Hey, Mark.
Wednesday night. If Paul does indeed become the Paul.
We got all sorts of stuff to talk about besides the
it's all happening Wednesday night. Jordan, I'm so excited
turning
about
our
this,
democracy into
finale.
dictatorship,
It's going to
which
be
Quitler
really
seems
fun.
to be doing.
With
And I love that name.
Interviews. And I am very excited. We have not announced this yet, but I'm going to be joined on the Exit Interview podcast.
Let's make a lot of loud and irritating noises. How about that?
Survivor winner.
That's better.
Oh.
I just got back from
I'll let it be a mystery
I'll
let people speculate.
see my dad and doing his 75th birthday party, which was really, really cool. But it was kind of a whirlwind.
Okay. Sweet.
Hey, Ellis. How you doing? Hey, Bill Gabriel. Kind of a whirlwind thing. I flew out Saturday morning, and it was a beautiful flight, and everything was great with Southwest, and it was all perfect, and we got there, and Sunday, the party was fantastic, and there were all sorts of people there, and it was really nice to see everybody say hi to my dad and recognize all the work he's done in the community for so many years in Longmont, and that was really cool. Yesterday, though, things didn't go so well with
All right.
Southwest Airlines and flying out of here. They delayed my flight from a 12:15 leave to a 2:35 leave, and I'm bored. Although I will say this for DIA, they have a smoking lounge on Concourse C, and no, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I did have a vape, and I went in there and enjoyed my time much more so than I would have in any other airport. Can you do that in German airports, Marcus?
February.
They let you guys smoke up?
Not without having contact with police.
Fun stuff.
What do you mean? If you get in trouble with police, you can light up?
Jordan Parhar. Jordan, was there anything else on your end?
Or you're saying if you light
restricted? The smoking is restricted in any kind of smoking. And again, in Düsseldorf Airport, I don't know of any zone. I only know they have to go outside.
Twitter,
all right, well, that's so I was lucky. I got to stay inside. Those of you who know American airports, They try different things to accommodate smokers and vapors and all that stuff. But when you're stuck at the airport and you really don't want to, you can't leave, can't do anything. Jonathan, I want to answer the question, what is this show is about? I'm curious to know what the show is about, finally. This show is,
Rob has a website.
What the show is something to bring us all together, Tuesday through Saturday, to just talk about what's going on in the revolution, talk about what's happening in our community, and how it's affecting us. Things that are going on. It's not a news show, so we're not just like pound through the headlines and talk about the big news. I am going to talk about some of the things that are going on that I think is, interesting or that affects all of us. Right? And some of the stories, some of the things that happened lately, what's going on in Corvallis, the ground game, and building this network. But really, this is a really casual conversation with fan base of Political Revolution TV and Bernie 2016 TV. And